This was picked up by DramaTubers, which caused even more people to harass this organization, until they were forced to let me go. Why do you think basic criticism of you is mass psychosis?
Huh?
I don't.
What was that?
I am just
What was that?
explaining a reality we are dealing with on the internet.
But this is coke, bro. This is total coke from this guy. Accused Magnetar being basically being a pedo, and you want to moan about YouTube harassment guidelines. Oh my god, forget, bro.
How do you feel about losing your job at the children's outreach thing? So for those of you that don't know, I was volunteering with an organization known as CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates for Children. It is a great organization that teaches people how to advocate for children in the United States legal system as a guardian ad litem. You are essentially a free social worker who interviews children, their families, teachers, doctors, and everyone who has information on the child's life in order to serve their best interests in a court of law. I highly recommend volunteering if you are interested in children's advocacy or the legal system. I was doing all of this privately, but unfortunately a group of cyber stalkers found me in the Casa of El Paso Instagram page, and my stalkers proceeded to harass this organization, posting their emails and phone numbers, encouraging...
Okay, I mean, you guys know what my take is on this already. You know my thoughts on this, okay? You know my thoughts on this. Don't like this, not a fan of this, said so at the time.
Everyone to spam them with the drama surrounding me in an attempt to get me discharged. This was picked up by DramaTubers, which caused even more people to harass this organization, until they were forced to let me go in an attempt to make the harassment stop. That broke my heart, but I learned a lot, which was the point of joining, and I'm very grateful for my training and experience doing so. If you care about children so much, why not get education, certifications, and a real job in advocacy?
Bro, this comment here, and I think Max has done this intentionally in order to make this point, I'm guessing. But this does get to the heart of this, right? This does get to the heart of this. Like, what is Max supposed to do? He can't do YouTube videos, which I agree with. He's shit at that, and he's fucked things up, sure. But then when he does doing something outside of that, people fucking harass the organization until they get rid of him. So what the fuck is he supposed to do then at that point?
I did. Instead of being an unprofessional YouTuber filmmaker with all these unnecessary edits. Education and, like you said, certifications are vitally important. And that is what I'm actively doing, is still seeking education. I don't want to just be a YouTuber the rest of my life. I would like to resolve all of this online stuff first, since clearly I cannot just go get a job without people harassing wherever I'm working. How much money do you plan to donate to the charity you posted? If I donate, will you match? I'll actually match the current amount of donations. If you want to donate, you can match my donation. But moreover, I think the people who covered this video and did not donate any of their ad revenue to this organization should match my donation. Because these people talk, but they hardly ever put their money where their mouth is. Don't
care, don't give a fuck about charity, barking up the wrong tree with me. I'm going to stuff every single penny that I make covering shit like this in a savings account and buy a house. That's what I'm going to do with my money. Thank you very much for the suggestion, though.
Be the only one doing that. Do you really think you can return to this content after getting exposed for faking most of your career? I would barely trust you to do scented candle reviews. That's really funny. Maybe I should do that. Scented candle reviews. Could it just be that I'm being honest and people are still saying it's a lie? Is that possible? I guess not. I guess I'm always a liar. But if I'm always a liar, then that was a lie.
I mean, yeah, sure. Maybe to be fair, maybe towards Mutahar, you could argue that, fine. But anyway, listen, I'm a bit Mutahar hated out, okay? I just want to get through the rest of this video.
This is the difficulty of being defamed, because no one's going to believe what you have to say. Everyone's going to think you're the fraud, manipulating, lying piece of shit that everyone's calling you. And it's an uphill battle. There's a great quote. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. So, yeah. It's going to be an uphill battle for me. But I think I've figured out the right way to go about all of this. Lilac and gooseberries. 9 out of 10. Maybe next time be the vigilante and go after them since you got the sources instead of role-playing justice. Justice is very difficult. I can do my best. I can show what is happening on these platforms like IMVU. I can document all of the recorded evidence of my interactions with these predators and send it to my people who upload it to these mega drives. We all collaborate on sending this information to law enforcement. And when nothing is done, we make a video about it on YouTube showing what these predators did. I know a lot of people are blaming me for the predators not getting arrested, but I am not an officer of the law. I'm not a judge. We have to look to the mechanisms that are enabling predators to walk free and the mechanisms that prevent children from reporting crimes. These are the real issues here.
I mean, this sounds great, but the issue that you've got is you have presented yourself as such as, you know, this great individual that's doing all this fantastic work previously. It's like that situation where he's saying the right things, but it is a massive change from how he's acted in the past. But he doesn't seem to be immediately addressing that balance,
but how do I
change.
Make money
you see what I mean?
Depressed people?
Having an MLK poster is typical for a guy literally named Max Savior Striker.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for the 420, Dofo. And then there's the fact of him like completely bullshitting through some level of his allegations and making shit up. But anyway, it's like, if he was more like, look, I was in over my head, I got an ego, whatever, fine. But the way he's presenting it is like, I'm not a law enforcement officer, guys. And it's like, no, but the way you presented yourself is that you are having some sort of meaningful impact on these circumstances when you're not, and you've overstated your role in it dishonestly. And you're dishonestly presenting it in this video too. But anyway.
I know my adversaries want to make it seem like Mamamax is the issue. I do not control these systems. What's your actual plan?
Okay. I mean, obviously, again, I can't speak for everyone else. I don't think Mamamax is the issue, but he's a symptom of this absolutely ridiculous thing that exists. That's best exemplified by the "we don't like pedophiles" shit stick, right? And it's that there are very simplistic, you know, unsophisticated views about this topic, which don't really seem to get to the heart and address these issues. And when you actually go and listen and find out about organizations that deal with that sort of thing, right? As a general rule, they tend to say that sort of stuff isn't actually good and isn't helpful and isn't useful and doesn't help move us forward. And I would even say that doing videos talking about like stuff that's happening online, there's certainly some value to that and it's a worthy part of the conversation, right? But as far as I understand it, the reality is that children tend to be abused like this by people that they know. Teachers, you know, parents, step-parents, family members, etc. Do you see what I mean? And it's like, I'm not expecting you to do anything about that, but the way you've presented this and this kind of crusade that you've gone on and the fact that you're pointing out this stuff, there's some value to doing it, but you have overstated your own role in this and your own sort of like, you know, abilities and so on. And it's like, so you're responsible for people overthinking it. And then when you get exposed and it turns out you've lied about getting people arrested and so on, of course there's going to be a backlash against you. Anyone that is saying that Mamamax is responsible for the legal system or whatever is stupid. But it is true that there are shortcomings, but your actions would only enable people to take advantage of certain aspects of the legal system to wriggle out of trouble. Like Camden Gerard Davis, as it stands, as far as I understand it, you would not be able to do anything with the stuff that you've got because it's all tainted and it's all fucked up, you know? And that's why you've got to work with the legal system, if you're serious about this, to actually figure out what you have to do, and then you can work along those guidelines to actually get people put away.
Plan for systematically changing how sex crimes against children are prosecuted. I'm sure there's people much smarter than me who have policies and systems that can truly...
The basic summary, there is some level of humility that he is showing here, which I think is respectable, but he's not really showing us the bridge between his prior egotistical way of presenting about this and now. So some of this is like, fine. Yeah, good. A bit more humility, sure. But you're not really accounting for the fact that you're a total egotistical retard before. And that's irritating that you're not seeing that, you know?
You make a difference. And I'm going to go ahead and play some of them.
We're economically attacking the young, but I know, let's attack their emotional and mental well-being. Let's take advantage of the fact of...
You're giving him too much grace. I don't think I'm giving him too much grace for saying he's expressing humility, but isn't bridging the gap between his egotistical nature before. Right? I'm saying that he's not owning up to stuff. I'm making that exact point. But it's like, you're saying some good things, fine. But you're not really accounting for the shit that's happened in the past, you know? It's like fake, it's phony. It's like a phony, it's a bit like that chess player, you know, saying all the right things, but then still lying in the course of issuing out that apology. It's the same thing that's happening, where it sounds good, but you're not actually accounting for this. And again, it's going to be an actions speak louder than words situation and what happens forward, I guess.
The flaws in our species with medieval institutions, Paleolithic instincts, and godlike technology. I'm just going to say, I think Mark Zuckerberg has done more damage to young people in our nation while making more money than any person in history. Oh, but wait, what could be worse? It's as if we let an adversary implant a neural jack into our youth to raise a generation of civic, military, and business leaders that hate America. All right, this all adds up to a bunch of graphs all headed up and to the right. And what are they? What's the first one? Oh, that's self-harm rates, which have exploded, especially among girls, since my colleague Jonathan Haidt pointed out it's really gone crazy since social went on mobile. What's the next one? Teens with depression. The next one, men and women not having sex. Next graph, cumulative gun deaths. You're more likely to be shot in the United States if you're a toddler or an infant than a cop. Next graph, obesity. Overdose deaths, way up. Deaths of despair. When I was in high school, it was drunk driving. Now it's kids killing themselves. We got the hard stuff figured out. There are programs to address all of these issues that cost a lot of money. That's the hard part. We have the money, but we decide not to do it. This is per capita spending on childcare in the United States relative to other nations. We need to remove 230 protection for all algorithmically elevated content.
So just a quick explanation. Section 230 protects platforms from being held liable for user-posted content. So let's use an infamous teen dating app as an example. Despite the fact that they have a massive child predator problem, they can't be held liable for the crimes that are being committed on their platform, and thus have no incentive to fix the issues, except for reputational damage when someone exposes them. If Section 230 could be corrected...
I don't even think that's true. Because Section 230, I'm fairly certain you need to make some good faith effort to moderate illegal content. Right? I mean, like, obviously it does get complicated, certainly, and there's issues with moderating some of this stuff, don't get me wrong. But no, you do need to make a good faith effort to moderate illegal content. You can't just have unrepentant grooming happening on your platform, right? You can eventually end up legally on the hook if you don't do something about that sort of material. Oh, hey, how's it going, Wavy? That's correct. Excellent. I'll take that from you. I agree. I agree with what you're saying. That I'm correct. Thank you. But yeah, dude. And also, it's like this idea that people that run these platforms are like completely morally bereft Jews or whatever, which I know is not what he's saying, but some people do. No, I think that people do obviously want to do something about this. Like, they're not automatons that only care about fucking profit and that's it. There probably is some instinctive desire to get rid of you know, I don't think Mark Zuckerberg is sat there thinking, oh, loads of children are being groomed on my platform. Not my problem. I'm making shitloads of money. right? I think there's probably some desire to do that. I agree that algorithm shit is probably hurting kids. I totally see that and agree with that. You know, it's like fucking up their brains, all this stuff being put in front of them. But it's just being presented in this extremely reductive way with details that I don't even think are true, because I think you can be held legally liable if you don't meaningfully moderate illegal content on your platform of this nature. But anyway.
To specifically hold platforms accountable if they are perpetuating crimes, then that would only push platforms to prevent crimes against children on their services. I know you asked specifically about prosecution, but prevention is infinitely more important to me. So, yeah. Why do you think basic criticism of you is mass psychosis?
Oh, it's X8.
I don't. I am just...
Wait. What was that?
Important to me. So, yeah. Why do you think basic criticism of you is mass psychosis?
Huh?
I don't.
What was that?
I am just...
What was that?
Explaining a reality we are dealing with on the internet.
But this is cope, bro. This is total fucking cope from this guy. Okay? You said that yourself.
This is why I hate the commentary community sometimes. Like, I legitimately, like, fucking hate some of these people. Because it's always like, well, a lot of people went with this, right? Sure, I understand how a lot of people can get something wrong, but, like, there are also people in this space who are absolutely happy to be, like, wrong, as long as it's financially lucrative. I can't make a follow-up video because it won't get any views to correct the thing that I personally fucked up, right? So they're not incentivized to correct anything or tell the truth. They're incentivized to do what people want to click on. And if there's a jerk wave going on, well, people are going to want to click on the negative video. So that's what drives me crazy. There's like a fucking incestuous commentary community right now that is a for-profit misinformation machine or whatever. And then whenever it gets called out, they all have like a huge pity party for themselves. Oh my God, I can't believe this turnaround. What? Wow, this plot twist is crazy. Guys, we really got to be better at this in the future. It's like, no, it's a for-profit misinformation machine.
For someone that's a for-profit misinformation machine.
Okay, so I see what he's trying to do there. And he's trying to paint Nick as someone that has perpetuated misinformation about him, right? And being like, oh, you're saying it here, but what about the misinformation about me? What misinformation did Nicholas spread about Max? I think you can make the argument that he was too trusting of Nexpo and Mutahar in what they said about the Night Doc stuff, sure. But I don't think that diminishes unless there's some evidence provided of other claims and things said in the video. And he's already failed on another point. He's already failed on another point trying to claim that the statement about the person getting arrested is fake when it isn't. We've watched the full context of it, and Max unquestionably tries to take credit for the, the person being arrested. So it just feels like, okay, I see what he's trying to do there. You have got an argument to make, in regards to the Night Dog stuff. I think there was too much trust for Nexpo and Mutar. Certainly can agree with that. But that is one point out of many which were made, which I think did have a good argument and did have a good basis. And the jerk wave, like, sure, there was a jerk wave about Max. I can accept that there was this, desire to see Max get fucked up. And I think it probably did lead to less scrutiny over, say, the Night Dog stuff. But I just don't think it diminishes the other claims made. If there was evidence provided, if there was some stuff provided that showed, like, this part of the video is wrong, that part of the video is wrong, sure. I'd accept it and look at it, and if I believed it, I'd say yeah. But I don't hold out much hope when the only thing that has been, questioned or, meaningfully pushed back on is this Nexpo Night Doc shit, when there is more complexity to it, and he has provided more evidence that has backed his side up. And then the other thing, he's misrepresented this claim about the arrest and clip chimped. But on my reading of it, you did take credit for the arrest. So it's like, out of the two examples that you've got, one, sure, you've got a point, but there is more complexity to it. And two, you failed on the other one. You failed to make a case that you've been misrepresented about trying to claim credit for the arrest. So, yeah. I need to see more proof or evidence of incorrect stuff in Nicholas, mine, whoever's coverage in order to accept the point that Max is trying to make here.
Machine. That was well said,
Welcome
Nicholas
to
Diorio.
Chud Nation.
That's what I'm trying to say
good
about
friend
mass psychosis,
Chudlogic.
is that we're believing all of these things that aren't real.
We are still talking about
Bro, much of the stuff that was said about you was real and true. Also, dude, it's a bit fucking rich that we've just had a segment where you've recognized how you got totally fucking bamboozled by Spencer. You know, even going as far to saying maybe she was lying about, what's his face? Camden Gerard Davis. And many people said that at the time. And look, turns out that many people were right about that. And you were fucking wrong and you were a total mark and got fucked over by it. So, yeah, just, indeed. Bit rich. A little bit rich. Also, no mention of Magnetar in this video, which I think is pretty fucking... I mean, maybe we'll get to it. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's like, yeah, what fucking happened with Magnetar, dude? You fucking smeared that guy because you got reasonably criticised for being a deranged freak with his fucking girlfriend.
mostly conversations that we've had, 4 years ago about spread of misinformation, things like that. The rate and acceleration of new kinds of threats, new kinds of issues, the growth rate of that is growing far faster than the growth rate of our capacity to mitigate or respond to those threats. I was speaking with someone in the fact-checking network who said...
Also, yeah, dude, he didn't even go into why Tommy C fucking hates him so much. Another very dishonest thing. Okay. Also, the other thing is, you've got, like, misinformation or something like that, where there's a misrepresentation or something of, like, a factual matter, right? Like, say, doctored screenshots or something like that, right? You've then got analysis and interpretation of information, like a screenshot of messages which are real. And obviously, that can differ. It doesn't necessarily mean that because someone has got a certain opinion about certain facts or evidence, that, that's misinformation. Like, someone could look at the claims that are made in regards to someone off the basis of the information that's available and come to some sort of conclusion, and they're obviously working off of what they've got. It doesn't mean that it's misinformation if you're working off factual basis. It just means that you maybe got a difference of perspective, or you don't have all the facts to make the best possible conclusion, Exactly. People were wrong because they didn't have all the facts. And so, it's like, you've got a role to play in that too then, Max, because you have taken this long to come out with further information that diminishes your role in the Night Doc stuff and shows that Nexpo had a role in it, but it's taken you so long to come out of it. Oh, it's not part of the conversation at the time, So yeah. I don't want to completely dismiss this out of hand, because it's like, I'm willing to accept that there could be things that are wrong. But, I don't know. What is it? What is it that's wrong? There's already one thing that he said that's wrong that isn't. And it was what he's saying isn't. That you did take responsibility for it. And you're obfuscating and ignoring other aspects of it too, and tweaking timelines and putting certain clips in. So, lots of dishonesty coming from him. And not really much hard proof or evidence to show what was incorrect or what was wrong about the broad narrative.
There's now 200 billion messages a day going through WhatsApp, 15 billion going through Facebook. They get about 100 fact checks per day. If you think about a bank being over leveraged and how much risk are they, how far over their skis are they? We've got about 200 billion to 100 in terms of scale of information that's running through a system without moderation, with, as Senator Sass said, the decentralized incentive for yellow journalism. If it bleeds, it leads. It wants to make each of us into yellow journalists because we each get more rewarded the more extreme things that we say in an inadvertent way. So in this subtle way, in this very slow climate change and culture kind of way, just by 2%, increasing the kind of outrageousness of what you're saying, the sensationalism of what you're saying. You get a few more likes, you get a few more hits, and so you keep doing it, and suddenly that heats up the global conversation and has us not even recognize our fellow Americans as fellow Americans.
Come on.
There's also more than just criticism.
A mass psychosis is an epidemic of madness, and it occurs when a large portion of a society loses touch with reality and descends into delusions. Such a phenomenon is not a thing of fiction.
We are
Wow. Also, dude.
Into delusions.
Bro.
Such a phenomenon is not a
Bro, I love the fact that he's showing this while showing like a picture, an image that would have gone hard when you were 14 years old. Oh my God, yeah, they're trying to control us, man. Oh my God, yeah, you got the vax, you got the pills, you got the apps, the money, the brain. Oh my God, it's like a fucking childish view of how the world works. Oh my God, dude. Oh, that's the kind of mindset this guy's in.
thing of fiction.
We are controlled by the algorithms that push us one way or another.
Social media divides us, makes us more extreme and less empathetic. It riles us up or sucks us into doom scrolling, making us stressed and depressed.
Also, yeah, bro, coming from you, dude. Coming from the guy that smeared someone falsely as a fucking pedo. Coming from the guy that pushed out various videos that were trying to capitalize and monetize this grooming shit with embellished allegations of fake victims. It's like, who the fuck are you to say this? You were part of the fucking problem, dude. Such an obnoxious thing to do, to be a big part of it and then come out and be like, oh, now I'm getting called out. This is all really bad, isn't it? Fuck me, dude. Crazy. Crazy the audacity on this guy to think he's in any place to fucking criticize this shit.
Looks like we need to touch grass and escape to the real world. New research shows that we might have largely misinterpreted why this is the case. It turns out that the social media internet may uniquely undermine the way our brains work, but not in the way you think.
So yeah, it's just a fact.
Well, there are concerns about misinformation. We should, just like when people raised other concerns in the past and we try to deal with them. Okay, yeah, people, no, if you ask people, no one says that they want misinformation. So maybe there's something that we should do to basically try to address this. But I was really worried from the beginning about basically becoming this sort of decider of what is true in the world, right? That's like kind of a crazy position to be in for billions of people using your service.
That is simply what we are dealing with. Was the call between you, Muda, and
Yes. Thank you for the $5, Abby. Appreciate it.
Diorio just an auditory hallucination we all experienced during mass psychosis? No, it wasn't. However,
I'm tired of the drama chatter mentality where if somebody doesn't say exactly what you want in the exact words that you would say it in a situation that's tense for them that you probably couldn't possibly comprehend, oh, well, he asked for it. Oh, well, he could have said this. I think that some chatters think that these situations are a lot simpler than they actually are in real life. And there's other things that are working at play other than our veil of hindsight that we use to dictate what should or shouldn't have been said.
And for that reason, I'm going to clarify what
Okay. I mean, I agree with that, obviously, personally. And I think he's obviously trying to suggest that we are being too harsh assessing Mamamax's conversation because he was in a high-pressure, high-stress situation at that moment. And I'm willing to be reasonable and say, yeah, I'm sure there were some high-stress moments, and maybe you fucked up, you flubbed this, you flubbed that, something like that, sure. But I guess I failed to see how things like the arrest thing are you fluffing up. I mean, I'm open to it. I'm open to it, okay? I'm totally open to things said in the call, you providing more evidence and demonstrating where, I was on the back foot, I fucked it up, something like that. I just want to see it at this point, And if he's got something for that, great, I'll take a look at it and consider it accordingly, But I just think it's, without question, that there are things that are admitted in that call that you hung yourself with.
Since there's so much to cover, I'll be going over the call in another video. However, it's
Okay.
important to note that we entered into this call under
Okay, that's
false
wonderful.
pretenses.
But how do I
Okay.
make money off depressed people?
Right pointing finger emoji, left pointing finger emoji.
Guys, it doesn't matter what you say. I understand. I understand the situation. Oh, it's free content though. I've got plenty of other stuff now that I can talk about that I'm way more interested in. So I'm going to talk about that. Stop trying to get me to talk about stuff I'm not interested in. It is so fucking annoying, okay? And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you fucking retards. Oh, chud, but. Not interested. Stop trying to rape me. I'm sick of it, okay? Oh, if I just say it this way, maybe I... No, you can't. I'm not watching it. And the more you ask, it's not happening anyway, but the less likely it becomes, okay? There's nothing you can say. You only anger me more. You only anger me more the more that you ask for it, okay? Fuck off.
Mudahar made it seem like he was going to do everything in his power to present the situation with objectivity and the justice it deserves. And instead, he chose to breach his NDA again, leaking the call to the public without our consent, and drunkenly dogpiling us with his commentary buddies,
Okay, that's wonderful.
breaking
But
multiple
how do I make
YouTube
money
community
off
guidelines
depressed
in the process.
Chud.
Oh my,
Card
come
posting
on,
just
dude.
dropped a new banger. Get it on quick.
What a fucking loser, bro. You broke the YouTube community guidelines. Oh my god. Get raped, bro. Who cares? Unlucky. You lost. You totally lost.
Process, which caused both cyberbullying and cyberstalking against me and the survivors of Camden.
Oh my god.
The entire
dude.
fetus has been removed, and the risk for infection is almost guaranteed at that point. So that's where
Also, dude, again, so rich that Mamamax is really saying this. Yeah, we were laughing at your retardation or whatever. You're sat there fucking going for ham at fucking Magnetar. Dude, I hate to keep bringing it up, but fuck me, dude, you accuse Magnetar of basically being a pedo, and you want to moan about YouTube harassment guidelines. Oh my god, get fucked, bro.
a bit of, obviously, I'm sure you've read the Reddit. I'm sure you've read the people critical of the situation.
Bro, the pick a side guy is saying this. Unbelievable.
And this is
You know how bad I want it to just be like, bitch, have you read the farms thread? Have you read what they've been saying? Have you
Well,
read
we
the
just
fucking
fucking
text
did
they
like
went
3
in
seconds ago. I was fucking reading it while we're streaming. Jesus.
In fact, I would encourage all of you to try watching that video with fresh eyes and convince yourself that this is not a symptom of mass psychosis. Once again, though, since there's so much to cover about that call, I'll be doing that on another video. Mamamax, are you still going to end?
Okay. So I will listen to that, and I will do my best to be fair, as always, okay? Because if there's new information, but dude, this is the problem, and this is what I'm a bit concerned about with it, right? The next post stuff is reliant on seeing completely new information that we've never seen before, okay? So if you're going to present a bunch of new information, fine, I'll look at it. But how can you expect people to interpret things on the basis of new information? I would need to see, like, okay, well, here's stuff that was available at the time that you didn't pay attention to in order for me to get on board with that, right? And it would need to mean, like, he's already tried to bullshit his way out of the claiming responsibility for arresting the person. So it's like, dude, we will see. We will see. We will see. I'm just, ever skeptical. We will see. We'll give it a shot.
And Charlie, why did anyone think I was being serious in that video? Just behaving like a genuine piece of shit. I liked Charlie.
I like Mamamax.
And I felt he could do a lot of justice for this case. Understandably, Charlie was not happy about this. And during a live stream, he vented to his audience.
We talked like a month ago about like what he was working on in his investigation. And then apparently when I had COVID, he messaged me a couple times and I never saw it. And now he's taken that as me ghosting him and ignoring his very important mission. And it really rubs me the wrong way. Instead of just he jumping to the most extreme possible explanation for me not seeing it, which is really fucking cringe. That did make me upset. there. Yeah, that really rubbed me the wrong way. I had COVID, and I barely used Discord in the first place. It was a miracle I ever even saw his message to begin with. And then I spent 12 days.
Also, sorry, there's another bit of deception that's happening here, right? Because that video was a product of him sending his editor, happens to be Slug. He sent that video, and it was him maniacally ranting for the purpose of cutting bits out for this segment, this part of the video, right? And like, to me, what that read like was, yeah, you're doing little bits and doing little jokes and stuff like that, pretending to be the commentary YouTube guy. But to me, it's like there's probably some stuff smuggled in there that's got a realness to it, right? Like, I think he was genuinely bothered by the fact that Charlie hadn't meaningfully responded. And the I could literally cancel you, I think, was some of that coming through, right? And on top of that as well, that wasn't in the original video. That was the edit that was released later that, you know, didn't make it into the final cut. So he's trying to act like, hey, why did you take this seriously? That wasn't in the video. You didn't put the editor, or whatever the thing is, didn't put it in the video. But you're trying to act like it's in the video, so why are you taking it seriously? It's very deceptive, the way he's kind of presenting that clip.
Not doing anything online, in bed. And during that time, apparently it changed his whole framing of the video in order to make it like a Trojan horse of cancel critical, because he didn't respond to my messages and ghosted me. So yeah, that did rub me the wrong way. Good intentions, but I did not like that.
I can see now that he felt blindsided and hurt, which is fair. However, I think it's important to lay out the facts. I reached out to Charlie on October 23rd, giving him a brief rundown of my current project. He responds 25 minutes later, claiming he hasn't done reaction streams or React content in about a year. I respond 5 minutes later that he doesn't need to react to my video, but I would like to invite him to our group chat with other influencers.
Okay. Can we be real here? Moist Critical is brushing you off. Like, you have got severe autism. Bro. Dude, this guy's such a wretched little freak, man. And I don't even fucking like Moist Critical, okay? As you know well already. He's clearly politely brushing you off. It's so obvious, dude. This is like... Oh, ugh. Right, that's the message equivalent of that action, okay? Take the hint, bro. EA's not interested in it. Yeah, I'll check it out when it drops. I'll definitely check it out when it drops. Okay? I understand you might be autistic, but especially when you ask them to do something and they're saying no, they're trying to soften the blow. They're trying to... This is like a people pleaser thing, isn't it? You know? You know, they definitely check it out. I think maybe check it out would probably make it clearer for the autist. But if I got this message, I would be like, okay, they're not interested. And that would be it, you know? Like, this reads very clearly as a, oh, not really interested in this. And yeah, I think you should probably take it as such, you know?
So we can establish a direct line of communication between everyone involved about my project in case anyone has any questions or concerns once everything goes down. He doesn't reply, so I follow up with him the next day, apologizing for my sense of urgency, but I truly felt this project warrants his attention given what the survivors have told me. He replies an hour later apologizing and agreeing to take a look. I send him the NDA that he promptly signs.
Oh my god, dude. I'll take a look after not replying. Bro, this is a people pleaser. Like, to me, if I got a message like this, I'd probably say something like, hey man, listen, no hard feelings, right? If you're really not interested, just let me know and I can, you know, like, stop bothering you about this. Something like that, you'd say, because you want to check that they're actually interested in this. Like, this reads to me as, oh, okay, fine, whatever. You know, when you're dealing with like a people pleaser, you need to, if you want to win friends and influence people or whatever it is, you need to take some action with which to, you know, filter that out, because otherwise you're just going to end up in this exact situation where someone is like not really interested in going along with it, you know? Listen, man, I don't want to be too precise about this. if you're not interested, you can just let me know. I don't want to be rude, but also, like, you know, if you're not interested, that's fine. I get it. You know, it just seems you're not really feeling the vibe or something. I don't fucking know. You say something like to kind of get that without being rude about it, you know? So if you really were uncertain, you could check. But, yeah, I mean, obviously, this to me is a clear brush off. I'm not really that interested. But I'm going to say I am anyway, because I'm a people pleaser.
In the group chat, one of the survivors explains the cult with some evidence. We share her videos, and that she explains the cult.
Oh my god, dude. Turkey tart. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, dude. Come off it, dude. Gotcha. Well, that is all very interesting. Ultimately, I still need to wait for the videos to come out, of course. But if this cult is as real as you both claim, then of course I hope those responsible are brought to justice, and I'll be glad to cover it when the time is right and some of the evidence is all laid out. I just, you know, especially privately, I get publicly, it's a bit sensitive sometimes. I understand that dynamic. But privately, we've got to be a bit more fucking real, haven't we? Nah, this is stupid. I can't be real, for fuck's sake. Yeah, this is dumb. That's not all that retarded. Oh my god. You commentary sweepers are so annoying, bro. This is obviously dumb. This is after when did the original video come out? Hopefully some big names talk about it. I have a feeling they won't. Don't totally blame them, but it'd be good to get some support from large creators. Oh my god. Thomas is being a total mark here, man. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, but, dude, I can't remember when the original video came out, the exact date of it. But, I mean, come on, man. This is obviously absurd. This is obviously ridiculous. I suppose, you know, I mean, to me, I would prefer just not responding, I guess. But, like, you're just gassing this up when it's obviously stupid. And it was stupid from day one, whenever the first fucking point of reference happened.
With some evidence.
This is probably why I don't get invited. This is probably why I don't get invited to shit like this anymore, okay? Unfortunately.
We share her videos, and that she is open to answering questions. This is when Charlie stops replying completely and claims that he was sick. But Charlie was active and engaging online during this same period. I don't mind if he was too busy or had no interest in my project, but just be honest about that.
Hey, you'll never guess who just got COVID again. Not this guy. No, yeah, I'm just pulling your...
I mean, I agree Moist Critical should stop being a people pleaser and should have been more clear about that. But also, Max should have recognised the signs that they weren't interested and stopped. I mean, it's very clear reading it that they're not that interested.
Like it is me. Look hard into my piercing blue eyes, and you'll notice that my soul is finally back in my body. I'm feeling much better, so I thought I'd celebrate by watching some more.
Yeah, guys, also, don't do that retarded thing where you're thinking that I'm supporting Max here. Obviously, Max is a total spurg retard and freak the fuck out. Many videos of me covering this. By the way, I covered this saying in fucking November this was crazy that this was happening when other creators apparently were being like, ooh, what's the fucking deal with this? So don't fucking come to me with that shit, bro. I was there in fucking November 2023 saying how stupid this all was, okay? But anyway, nonetheless, okay? Yeah, I just think that there's an element of people just not being able to say, yeah, this is stupid, and then moving on, you know?
More horrible pickup artistry attempts on TikTok.
So according to his own uploads, Charlie had COVID from October 30th to November 2nd. 4 days out of 12 that he claimed he was not doing anything online.
And then...
Bro, dude, this is kind of awkward, right? It's like, bro, you're not getting it, are you? He was bullshitting you. And, well, he's basically like trying to be nice about it, but you're a weird spurg and he doesn't want to fucking back you up, okay? In fact, sure, I'll say that point first of all. And secondly, right, Moist Critical has made his own bed for this. Do you know why? Because he's one of the fucking idiots that supported Mamamax's other retarded crusades. So he's kind of made a rod for his own back here. Yeah, unlucky. You shouldn't have supported his deranged shit, should you fucking idiot? But anyway, I do think that Mamamax is being extremely autistic here, and it doesn't really, you need to go back and see how insane that time was. Mamamax freaked the fuck out like crazy because people weren't wanting to watch his dog shit, stupid content and prop it up.
And I spent 12 days not doing anything online in bed. I barely used Discord in the first place. It was a miracle I ever even saw his message.
Oh my god, dude. This is so pathetic, man. Dude. Bro, he just ain't that into you, okay? And also, plenty of people don't clear their notifications and have like 600 notifications. I can't deal with that, but some people do it. Stupid point.
Message to begin with.
I followed up with him over the course of that month, which many people claim is me spurging out and spamming him. But from my understanding, following up with a colleague every few days is perfectly normal in most professional settings, especially after they've agreed to take a look on what you've been working on. And I just wanted to keep him in the loop. But hindsight is 2020. I agree that this is a bit much. I will admit that I drafted these messages with ChatGPT, thinking it came off as professional.
Oh my god, dude. He's admitting to the ChatGPT claims. Bro, what the fuck? No way. He's using ChatGPT to come up with messages too. What a fucking loser, bro.
When in reality, it's way too robotic, long-winded, and heavy-handed. Now, I'd like to clarify that I was never spiteful or angry with Charlie, and I try to make that as apparent as possible in the video and the description. I built this video with the survivors from the ground up.
Bro, I've had to deal with shit like this, where it's like, someone will send you a video or something. I tend to, if I don't know them, I tend to just ignore it, right? And I'm like, the first message, dude, it is utterly disrespectful that the first message someone sends you is, can you react to my video, please, when you've never spoken before? Like, bro, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. Very fucking disrespectful to, that's the first opening gambit that you've got. But when it's like, you know them and they ask, I think, yeah, you just give them a fucking fair read or like comment on what's going to happen. Like, I might look at this, I might be interested, possibly, maybe, or I'm interested in this and I should take a look at this. I'll probably take a look at this versus like, oh, I'm really interested in this and I'll watch this, So yeah, I think you do have to like do something to let people know what's going on, unless the opening gambit is asking you to react to their video. In that case, I think it's reasonable to just ignore it because fuck that person. And people like that are very fucking obnoxious and annoying and are not worth having communication with anyway.
Because we truly had faith that Charlie would help us. After I upload the artificial drama, he finally responds and explains why he was inactive. I respond to him the next day, apologizing and asking if we can just get in a 30-minute call.
Dude, this is making Max look terrible.
Robert Downey became a member. Robert Downey celebrates 3 months of membership, does a gay op, then wonders why Charlie doesn't like me? Wow.
Thank you very much for the membership. And also, this is making Max look terrible. So he does this ridiculous campaign. Moist Critical reaches out and expresses frustration. Okay. Expresses frustration at what's happened. And his opening gambit is to ask for a 30-minute call. But then, here's the problem. God, these people, man. And then Moist Critical's like, oh, I'm a bit slammed, but I might be around later. What are you doing, bro? Why are you giving in to this fucking vibe terrorist? This should be are you a fucking insane freak? Fuck off. No, I don't want to talk to you, you fucking idiot. Bro, you're literally giving in to him and showing him that this works. This is the problem with Mamamax that it's been for fucking years. People give in to him and let him have his fucking way. And that's why he's managed to continue on as long as he did. Through both of those stupid anti-YouTube campaigns. And now with this, you're still doing shit like this. Or maybe we can have a chat later. No, tell him to fuck off. Total loser, clout-obsessed freak, bro.
So I can explain myself and find a resolution that is beneficial for all parties involved. We set up the call with him, me, and the survivor. We had a respectful conversation. He was very understanding and kind, and we conclude the call by just requesting if he can listen to the survivors for 15 minutes to see if this story is worth his time. And he agreed, only requesting that Mutahar, out of all people, was to be present. I told him that I already invited Mutahar, but he is welcome to invite anyone else. We said goodbye, and we felt good about our conversation. After that call, I invited him to the server. He never joined, and then nothing. No follow-up, no response. We have waited for over
He is a spineless people pleaser that will say things to you to lead you down the garden path, and you need to be able to distinguish that, you fucking idiot.
year now,
Oh my God,
and he
dude.
still hasn't said anything about it since then. This was never supposed to be about me or Charlie. It was supposed to be about the survivors who deserved to have their stories heard. And unfortunately, the situation ended up silencing them even further. I don't blame Charlie for this, but I do think he could have helped,
Okay, that's
and
wonderful.
he chose not
But how do
to.
I make money?
When did you stop
Yes,
Fuck
all
off,
these big
dude.
YouTubers are to blame for Max Big Head.
Thank you for the $5, Abby. Appreciate it.
stalking and harassing? So just a quick recap. I have multiple ex-partners that have accused me of some pretty horrible things. I made a video addressing this. I did not go into too much detail. I just tried to answer what I felt was necessary. But out of respect for their privacy, I would prefer to leave them alone, just as I would prefer for them to leave me alone. But in short, these relationships were not healthy, and they did not end well.
Okay, that's wonderful.
I did my
But how do I
best
make
to be
money
kind
off
and
this?
take care of them
Save
when
the
they were
membership.
struggling,
St.
but it
Burns
didn't work out
celebrates
in
1
the
month
end
of
for many
membership.
reasons. But when these relationships ended, I guess since I have a platform and to deplatform me, some of them have continued doing this for multiple years. And over the years, their stories have changed. They delete old allegations and create new ones. There is one, however, that filed police reports against me almost a decade ago with inaccurate information while I was in a completely separate part of the country.
Bro, oh my God, dude. This guy is so wretched, man. Now he's trying to, claw back further credibility off the back of these allegations. When if you watch his video, he accepted much of what this person claimed. The person that filed the police report. Oh my fucking God, dude. What a dishonest little fucker. Now he's trying to be like, oh, they were full of incorrect information. Basic story. This individual, Mamamax, self-admittedly did some deranged shit with this person, and they filed police reports because they felt they were being stalked. And now he's trying to, claw back some credibility by presenting it this way. Disgusting. What's he got to say about Magnetar, I wonder?
Some of which even say there is no evidence for these reports. But I think it's important to note that I'm not getting in group chats with their ex-partners and sharing pictures and videos of them, including their uncensored driver's license. I'm not repeatedly going on live streams to make accusations about them.
Little Edwin reference there. The little Edwin story.
I'm not going on social media obsessively gossiping about them and fantasizing about murdering them.
What is this? Only benefit of the knife is getting the personal kill and being able to hear the breath leave their dying body. I mean, I'm not really that bothered about the moral frogging of this. Like, yeah, sure, Magnetar's being a bit spicy. But, dude, I think that people don't understand the issue here. I don't know if this is before or after the allegation that Max made about Magnetar, but Magnetar's life was, thrown into turmoil by the actions of Max. Oh, look, there. Okay, well, it's on the screen now. I didn't want to necessarily bring it all up, dredge it all up. So this is Haley, right? So this is the individual that Max was stalking. And Magnetar is Haley's partner, and Magnetar got implicated in this because of the level of derangement that Max was reaching. Some of which Max has admitted to in his own video about this. So I don't really blame Magnetar for feeling this way about it. You know? And I'm sure that if you were to ask him, he'd probably recognize that this does sound deranged and he shouldn't have said it. But, like, I get it, right? Like, Max is a total freak with Haley. Of course Magnetar is going to feel very angry about it. And then on top of that as well, I don't know when this happened, it could be before or after, you then have got the false allegation against Magnetar.
I'm not going on Kiwi farms and doxing them and their families shortly before doxing them to the rest of YouTube. But they are doing all of that to me.
Is apparently Max is telling everybody that Anthony is like running the Kiwi Farms thing, and there is like no evidence to support that Anthony is like the person who doxed him on Kiwi Farms or posted all that stuff. I haven't seen a single thing, a shred of proof that shows that.
He's claiming Anthony Magnetar is the one running the Kiwi Farms thread?
Yeah, and that seems to be really upsetting him because he reached out about me that specifically.
So I'm gonna say it right now, and this is I'm not doing this because it's like I'm trying to pay back Anthony after what, like, me making a statement. It's actually impossible. Let me explain why it's retarded to assume anybody could be running a f***ing thread. You don't have any proof.
I mean,
okay, Salsa, you've done this so many times now, okay? You're going to have to take some time off and think about what you've done. 2 weeks. Come back in 2 weeks, okay? There we go. Stop fucking asking me about shit I've said repeatedly that I'm not interested in. It's so fucking annoying, bro.
I mean,
Jesus.
theoretically, it could just be a coincidence that Kiwi Farms got my full docs, which was previously unknown, while they were working on their video, which just so happens to have a picture of me from our high school yearbook, and some of the exact same videos that appear in their video that I didn't even know existed until they were posting them. And then,
oh no, Magnetar used Kiwi Farms to find stuff about you. Womp womp, don't care.
And when I respond just to defend myself, they claim I am the one doxing and harassing them, even though their full names were already public and mine was not, which has put my entire family at risk.
Womp
But
womp.
apparently they are the innocent victims, and I am the crazy stalker, even though I would prefer to have nothing to do with them. Even the one on screen right now I have never dated. I have not.
Bro, this is okay. This is literally just further. This is such a shitter move of him to do, right? Because he 100% unquestionably was a totally wretched freak with this person, and all this is doing is furthering it more. All this is doing is making it worse. I would strongly suggest going and finding the original allegation video and watching it, because some of the stuff in there is fucking deranged. And now he's continuing to fucking talk about it. No reason to bring this up, by the way. No reason to address this. No reason to talk about this. Unless you're literally apologizing for the Magnetar stuff. But he's doing it anyway.
Not even seen her since high school over 10 years ago. And she is still somehow following me and talking about me. And it is very disturbing. I have dated plenty of women that don't do this, but these few still do. So I'm not really sure what one is supposed to do at this point. If I make videos on each of them and go into excruciating detail about my side, I would be putting them at risk of harassment, which I do not want. But if I don't say anything and let them keep following me and talking about me, they're just gonna keep ruining my life. And
also, the other part that's super dishonest about this as well. Is this our thumbnail about it? Is this our thumbnail? I can't remember. The other part that's really dishonest about this is the reason that these people spoke up about this in January 2024 was because prior to that happening, right, there was this kind of hand-waving away of the allegations against Mamamax, right? And he released a response that was pretty shit, but people just bought it because at the time, obviously, Mamamax was more popular or whatever. And Magnetar was smeared as a pedo, and that was never ever really cleared up. So the reason that it was spoken about is because it was their opportunity to actually bring their story forward and be listened to and not be shouted down as seemingly was what happened before. And Magnetar, it wasn't until January 2024 when Magnetar's fucking name got cleared. His name was still considered to be some nonsense. Mutahar still believed it. He even reacted badly when he was challenged about pushing the narrative about Magnetar on that stream. So, yeah, it was an opportunity for these people to actually be listened to, and that's why they spoke about it. Now, from my perspective, I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I was absolutely rinsing the content as making as much money as I could out of it and growing my channel. I'm not sat here being the moral, oh yeah, I'm such a good guy for doing it. Just to be really clear with you, I'm just highlighting that it's reasonable that these people would want to use this to come forward and speak about it because they hadn't really been fairly listened to previously, and all the shit got hand-waved away by people.
People are going to think I'm hiding something. So I just decided to report them to the police and document any further harassment. Do you wipe or just...
Any comment on Magnetar? Any comment on the fact you totally smeared Magnetar? Oh my god, he's just not even mentioned it, bro. He's not even mentioned that part of it. What a wretched little freak this guy is, man. Holy shit, dude.
let it crust? Bidet all the way. How many drugs are you on right now? I'm caffeinated, so one. Where did you get the audacity? Sourceforge.net? When will you delete your channel? Probably never. Why are you back? Get off the internet. It's probably healthier for all of us to get off the internet. And yet we're all still here. Sadly. Why are you so weird, bro? I don't know. I don't know how to answer.
If Conan Gerard Davis, I can tell that you're black due to your IQ levels. If Magnetar didn't want Max to call him a pedo, maybe Magnetar shouldn't have made a group chat of all Max's exes in an effort to defame him. Not saying Max should have done that, but Magnetar was stupid. I can agree that the allegation was handled poorly. I totally concur that there was issues with how it was handled, right? And I think, you know, I would hope that Magnetar would recognize that himself, but the consequence for that should be not getting called a pedo. That's ridiculous, because that's a clear just weaponization of that claim in order to attack, you know, and remove credibility from the individual. But yeah, it was stupid. They involved too many people. There was obviously problems with some of the claims. And it should have just been, you know, it should have just been Haley's claims that were kind of looked at and assessed, really. That was the main one. But yeah. But yeah. Anyway.
Answer that. I don't... Maybe if you could divulge a little bit, I could answer better. If you mean personality-wise, it might have to do with my autism. I do have ASD. If you mean my content, why is my content so weird? I don't know. On YouTube, it felt right to be a little performative. But I can see retrospectively that people see it as cringe or like unhinged, as a lot of people call it. It's just like, I don't know. I thought we were...
No, Camden, you're wrong. The video was not good. You've been bamboozled. You're still operating off of the video sucked. And he even admitted to some of the worst claims in regards to Haley. Max's video sucked and you bought into it because you were hyped up on fucking, you know, Johnny Depp Amber Heard fever, and a bunch of other retards from the commentary community fucking gave it the fucking thumbs up. Stupid and ridiculous. Bro, Mamamax is a total freak. And he absolutely without question, stalked Haley and made her life hell. Also involved Magnetar in that. This motherfucker sent an image of him self-harming to Magnetar. Like, what planet are you on if you're not going to act like that isn't the most fucking deranged shit going? Something which he admitted to. He admitted to sending this deranged fucking letter. Dude, you need to watch it. I don't want to go... Dude, I do not want to fucking relitigate all of this shit, okay? But fuck me. Mamamax's video was not a good response. You just got bamboozled. Unlucky.
We're here to perform and make weird art projects. I didn't know that we just had to be... You just have to be yourself. Did you have a nervous breakdown? But seriously. Did I? I don't think so. I know people are calling my my Mommy Z skit mental breakdown to make me look insane. But that's the character. I'm playing a commentary channel that thinks he's better than everybody else. Like you could literally, like I start the entire skit with like an unhinged.
Bro. Okay, again, he's being dishonest. That wasn't the skit in the video. That was secret. That was, you know, leaked footage of you that you sent to the editor to edit together as that. And some of it I think was real. Anyway.
I thought that would get the message across. I guess not, though. Just to note, he's deleting comments, even though I'm just tuning into this video. I asked about the multiple documentaries and the events that we all watched happen, and poof. So YouTube has this thing where it deletes comments on its own. That could be what's happening here. He's deleting replies. If I was deleting replies, wouldn't you think I would also be deleting people saying I'm deleting replies? It's just funny. People could just accuse me of something I've never done, and just people believe it. But I guess that's the internet for you. Why do so many feel like you owe them something? You deserve to be and do whatever it is that you love. People are too judgmental. Please continue to be who you are. You're the first video I watched today. As soon as I looked at my phone this morning, all you can do is try. Upload video. Those that have always believed in what you're doing will be here for you. That is really... That really is heartwarming. It's sad you only have one thumbs up. Here, I'll give you another. Thank you. I'm grateful for people like you who can see.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Who can see what I'm trying to do.
You wrote that himself, apparently. Okay.
And that's all I can do is just keep trying and continue to be who you are. Despite all the hate and hostility on the internet, you still manage to shine through. And I'm very grateful for you. Please respond, Max, because what breed is your dog? It's the cutest. Thank you. So I have 4 very good dogs.
Okay, I don't really care about this segment, but it's only like 15 odd minutes. So I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to go a bit over today. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this Jake Weddle treat that I've got lined up. And I think that'll be it for today. What are we on? Yeah, I think I might as well finish it now. I've started it. I will speed the dog segment up, though, because I don't care enough.
That I love with all of my heart. First one is Ruby. She will always be my baby.
Anyway, there we go. There's the personal questions answered. More content there. Great stuff. That's all I've got to say about that. Take of that what you will. And unless DK wants to include this, or, I mean, I doubt there'll be a separate segment for the dog bit, but, you know, I think it's the end of the main bit of the Mamamax response video.
I rescued her in Dallas when she was a puppy. She is currently 4 years old and is a German Shorthair mix. She is very anxious, but extremely loyal. One of the best guard dogs I could ask
yeah,
for.
bro, the fact that Magnetar is completely excised, except for that one comment, is disgusting. But anyway, what do we expect from Mamamax, I guess?
Second was Mr. Ross. He is an elder dog that I rescued in Houston. He is a husky mix. He has a curly ear and almost none of his teeth. He sheds a lot of hair, and I have to groom him almost every week. I don't know anything about his past.
I love dogs, guys. Aren't I great for loving dogs?
But she makes... But don't let her...
I bloody love dogs, guys.
Part of it all began...
Here we go.
And here's the very reason why I'm finally able to make this video.
Here we go.
It all began when Spencer asked if I could help her get a service dog. I've always believed dogs are among the most loving companions, and I thought one could help her learn responsibility and heal emotionally. So
Here
I
we
agreed.
go.
Since we couldn't afford the steep cost of a trained service dog, we made a deal. Spencer would raise and train one herself. She found the breed she wanted, and soon after, we brought home this beautiful boy, Belfgor. At first, Spencer did a decent job taking care of him, but as her awareness campaign gained traction, she became increasingly consumed by the gossip and drama surrounding her, and slowly she began neglecting Belfgor. I stepped in, taking over his care, and slowly...
Oh, we got... Oh, yes, we got some more juice. Let's go. Hey Spencer, I've noticed that Belf has started chewing on things around the house again. I'm concerned that he might swallow something harmful and it's also causing damage to our home. Since you're here, do you think you could help keep a closer eye on him and maybe redirect him to chew toys? I just want to make sure he's safe and keep our place in good shape. Thanks for the help. I'm doing what I can, but I'll try to keep him with me more so he's not tempted. Thanks for letting me know. No more Ethernet. Oh my god, dude. So got a pet, but can't even meaningfully look after it.
Okay,
Is
that's
that right?
wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Thank you for the $2. Space Station, appreciate it. Let's go. You guys have been exceptionally generous today. Thank you for that. Thank you. So yeah. Barely any responsibilities. Can't look after a dog. And then it's causing all this havoc in the home. Wanted the pet but can't take responsibility for it. Just It's a disgusting individual, really. What do you want me to do to stop this? I'm so sorry. Lol, it's okay. I'll grow out of it. But for now, just lock him in the living room if he's going to be unsupervised. All the cords out there are replaceable, so thumbs up. Oh my god, dude. Still, it's fucking annoying. What is this? Spencer, Belf cannot be kept in the kitchen unsupervised. Oh my god, dude. Oh, fuck me. Belf is making the hole in the wall bigger. I'll try and ask around for more advice on how to stop it. Well, you got to train a dog. Dogs can be trained to behave themselves, but they need care and attention to do so. I know literally nothing about the care of dogs, okay? I know less than nothing about the care of dogs. I would wager that this is a bored dog who is left to their own devices, isn't taken out for enough exercise, and then they end up causing havoc around the home and biting stuff and hitting stuff and biting this and shit like that. That is my best guess. Any dog owners out there want to say whether I'm right or wrong about that? Yes. Guys, let's go. Come on. Let's go! But yeah, I mean, you know, dogs take a lot of effort. And there are some dogs that have got a much more simplistic care regime. Like, some dogs require a lot of exercise and you need to take them out for walks all the time, multiple walks a day, whatever, etc. You know. And then there's some dogs that are like, you know, much lower maintenance. So it's like, if you don't want to deal with this, that's fine. But get yourself a lower maintenance dog or get a cat. Like, obviously cats are like, you know, not... Bro, it's so funny when my ex was like, oh, I'm going to get a cat for the kids. And I was like, you know, classic grumpy man. Like, why are you going to do that? That's stupid. Stupid to get a cat. Why would you bother with that? All it's going to do is cause havoc around the house. Do this, right? And then the first night, I very much warmed to the little kitten. And she ended up sleeping on me for the whole night, which is quite sweet. And I actually really love that cat. Really love that bloody cat. But nonetheless, obviously, I was correct. And yes, the cat is like, you know, tearing up carpet and shit like that and so on. Which, you know, I think is whatever. You know, it is what it is at the end of the day. But like, you know, my ex gets really annoyed with the cat for doing that. But yeah, you know, that's the reality of having a pet, is you will end up having like negative consequences as a result of that. And you've got to weigh up, do I want to have the negative consequences? Do I want to have to deal with, you know, in this case, you know, the physical realities of having a pet like this, etc. And it seems like Spencer is kind of wanting it and accepted it without really meaningfully thinking about the downsides of it, because they're a total layabout freak loser.
Began neglecting Belfgor. I stepped in, taking over his care, and over the course of that year, Belfgor and I formed an unbreakable bond. I loved him deeply and wanted to keep him. But when Spencer's behavior led to her eviction from our household, I felt obligated to honor our original agreement, and I let her take him. Instead of keeping him, however, Spencer raised money on Facebook to send him across the country to a friend who would train him as a service dog. And on August 14th, 2024, we forced him into a crate in the back of the animal transport. I said my final goodbye, my heart breaking as I watched him disappear. This felt like the worst thing I had ever done in my entire life.
Yeah.
I raised Belfgor as if he were my own. This was his home. Now, confused and terrified, he was being ripped away from everything he knew and loved.
Jesus.
I could only imagine his fear and discomfort during those.
Any updates on Belf? He won't really leave the crate. He rolls when she tries to get him put away if she takes him out. He's eating and drinking, but went potty in the crate. He won't walk for her because she's anxious and scared, which is understandable. They're close to Fort Worth now. Now, sad. Jesus.
Those 3 long days of travel. When he finally arrived at his destination, I tried to make peace with the fact that his life was no longer in my hands. But as time passed, Spencer stopped updating us about him. Days turned into weeks, then months, and my worry grew into despair. I missed him terribly and had no idea how he was even doing. Then one day, I noticed that a survivor of Camden, and the very same dog trainer now caring for Belfgor, was online. I reached out. Hey, how's Belfgor doing? Spencer hasn't shared much about him, but we've been thinking about him and just wanted to check in. If he needs any help with food or meds, let us know. We'd be happy to support however we can. We miss the big guy. To my relief, she responded. Belfgor was okay. I soon learned that Spencer hadn't been keeping in touch with her, and that Belfgor might not even be suitable for service work. I told the trainer I'd be more than happy to take Belfgor back if Spencer no longer wanted him. She explained to me that Spencer was considering rehoming him, so I immediately made my claim. But when the trainer informed Spencer of my intentions, she fought back. I sent a formal letter to both Spencer and the trainer, asserting
Probably written by ChatGPT, one would assume, but anyway.
my legal ownership over Belfgor. All his paperwork was under my name. Spencer retaliated, threatening a restraining order if I didn't back down. Then came some devastating news. Belfgor had run away from a dog sitter and was now in the custody of an animal shelter. The trainer assured me this was my best chance to reclaim him. But before I could act, Spencer sent me a cease and desist letter, trying to prevent the shelter from releasing Belfgor to me.
Oh my god.
I fired back with my own cease and desist, declaring my rightful ownership and my determination to bring him home. Spencer's threats wouldn't stop me. I was going to get my dog back, no matter.
Okay, I mean, obviously, we need to take this in the context of how it's being provided, okay? This is obviously emotionally manipulative on the part of Max, right? Let's just be real about this. The feeling that you're having towards him is intentional. I'm sure for dog owners, this goes super hard, okay? It's a bit like the Cinny Bear cat thing. You know, that sort of nature, isn't it? So, you know, just take from that what you will, okay? But obviously, yeah, sure, the dog drama is kind of fun, actually. I'm kind of invested in this now.
No matter what.
Oh, dude, come on, dude. That's so corny, dude. Dude, this is so ridiculous. This is exactly what he tried to do with Moist Critical at the end of his video with the dog thing. And you guys are falling for it. Oh my god. This is so cheesy, dude.
Come here. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. You remember me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I missed you, buddy. I missed you, buddy. Oh, good boy. Good boy.
I am beyond happy right now. Wow. He recognized me out here. I wish I had recorded it. And he's not in great shape either. Like he looks really hungry. Happy boy, happy boy. No, buddy, no, buddy. No, buddy, don't do that. I'll make you some water, okay? Whoa. Good boy. Good boy. No, stop. You gonna go pee?
Right.
Sometime today?
Listen, dude, okay? Look, watching this, okay? And listen, I am a very obnoxious and abrasive individual. Very vitriolic in the things I say and the things I talk about and the way I talk about people and I cover stuff. I do think, and this is why I you know, look at a situation like the Max getting removed from that kid shit or whatever it was, right? I do have, like, you know, there is a human side to all these stories. There are humans involved in this, and it's easy to forget that looking for a fucking screen, right? So we must always remember that behind the screen there's always a human. Never forget that, guys. Never forget that. Now, anyway, let me just finish this video and wrap this up so we can watch the footage that's been found of Jake Weddle's pedophile father. Let's get to that after this. Come on.
It's pretty chilly out here, dude. Get it going, okay? It's clean. Are you clean, buddy? No, bud. What the fuck is that? No. No. God. Already.
Is that shit?
Good morning, Belf. Good boy. Hey there. Hey, bud. Good boy.
Oh!
Evil or
bro, that's for humans.
sinister, but it means that there are lots of different people in it who have different agendas.
Just waiting for him to poop.
These technologies, we should have empathy for people, not just here, but in the rest of the world, who you know, spend a lot of their time kind of scraping by to like survive, assuming we can distribute the benefits of these technologies.
Please poop. Please pee. It's freezing. Yummy.
Based in my learning, like I don't think I learned very well from like.
I don't know if y'all can hear, but he's peeing. Finally. For the first time all day. Good boy. Hey, buddy. Hey. Hey, mister.
Come on, go for it. Come on. Go for it. Go for it.
Good boy. Good boy.
Max supported Spencer as she fucking bought the dog to train it as a support animal for a raped self. That goes hard, dude. And the dog can't even stop shitting in a house. He fucking brought the animal into the situation. Well, yeah, I mean, I can't really fault Mamamax for, you know, I mean, I don't really think it's linked to the other fault of him being so trusting of this stupid fucking bitch, Spencer, or whatever, you know. But I can't really fault him for the dog shit that much. I mean, he seems to be doing the right thing here.
Happy boy. Come here. Come here. Good dogs. No, no. No, okay. All right.
It's so cute. Look at that cute picture you got.
Yeah, it's very good. Be a good boy.
Yeah, dude, this is like
Put your hands around him.
whatever.
Keep it safe and guide him to Lord to use it for your glory in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Hey, dogs. Hey, dogs. Can't see shit. So to finish answering your question, Belfgor is a Great Dane Labrador mix. He's just over 100 pounds of love and affection. He enjoys going on car rides, as long as he's not cramped in a small crate with over 1,000 miles of driving. And he's been making a lot of friends at the local dog park. He's super strong and can fuck shit up like nobody's business, but after some training, he's been a gentle giant ever since. I love him so much, and I'm beyond grateful to have him back home. I'm so grateful for all of you who believed in me and waited patiently for me to give my sign. But I don't blame you if you believed in all of the rumors. There's a lot of effective storytellers here on YouTube, and it's actually quite impressive how many theories can revolve around me when I really...
Bro.
Griffin be like, oh my god, who the hell?
Thank you for the super chats. I mean, the thing is like that's quite deceptive, isn't it? Like, what has he actually done in this video, bro? Like, what has he shown?
Use of dogs is working on me.
Thank you for the super chat. Fuck, appreciate it. He's shown that Nexpo was actually the main pusher of this shit about night dogs and lied about it and is a wretch. He then showed that Mutahar is a fucking dishonest wretch. Sure, I knew that already, to be honest. Maybe that was new information to some people, okay? And then it's like, yeah, Spencer's a lying, wretched bitch. Oh, I knew that already way more than... I can 100% knew that because I said it at the time. So he's like, oh, thank you for wanting me to address this all. There's a bunch of stuff that's left unaddressed. What about the actual terrible shit you did, like the fucking Magnetar stuff and the fucking utter bullshit you spun about the stories that you told? Bro, there's so much shit he just hasn't even addressed, and then he's like, right, my work here is done. My work here is done, guys. What do you mean there's loads of stuff that's unaddressed? And you're going to act like you've addressed it all? Pathetic.
I really don't think I'm that interesting. But it's kind of cool, I guess, to have some level of infamy. I'm sure you guys have thousands of more questions now. But don't worry, this video is only the first of a much larger project. And there's a lot of shit to clean up. You know, some people like to make up shit. Some people like to shit on other people. Some people like to bury their shit. But me, I just want to clean up all this shit. Because there's a lot of shit out there. Thank you all so much for watching the video. And I'll be seeing you very soon.
Damn.
Toodles.
There we go, guys. Damn, we got some more to come from the sounds of it. I can't wait. That was great. Wow. The video overall was fucking terrible. But, well, that's probably unfair. It was good, but not in the cause of exonerating Mamamax. Just in dragging some people down to his level. Oh, man, I can't believe we'd made a whole stream out of that one video. That is wild. I didn't even realize fucking... How did that happen? How did that even happen?